Hello. So the goal of this video is to take decimals and convert them into fractions. Here I'd like you to take a look at some examples and see if you can notice the pattern. I have 0.3, which equals 3 over 10, or 3/10. 0.03 equals 3/100. 0.003 equals 3/1000ths, and 0.0003 equals 3/10,000ths. So, if you take a look at this pattern, what you'll notice is that I have one place after the decimal. If you look at my denominator, I have 1 and 1 0. Two places after the decimal, I have 1 and 2 zeros in the denominator. 1, 2, 3 places, a 1 with 1, 2, 3 zeros, and so on. So, again, the best way for me to instruct on this one is for you to copy down example problems and work them out with me. Let's start with a negative 0.9. This equals 9/10, which should give you a hint to what the fraction is going to look like. So, the first thing that I want to do is make sure that I show the negative sign, because it's a negative 9/10. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the number in this decimal. That happens to be a 9, so that's going to be my numerator. Then I know my denominator is going to be a 1 with the number of zeros for the number of places after the decimal. I have one place after the decimal, so I'm going to have 1 0. The last step is to check if I can simplify 9/10, and I cannot. So my final answer is a negative 9/10. Let's try this with a different decimal. So here I have a positive 0.12. And I know that I'm going to write my fraction bar. I'm going to look for my number in the decimal, and that's the number 12. That's going to be my numerator. My denominator is always going to start with a 1, and then I have 1, 2 places after the decimal, so I have 1, 2 zeros. Now, had I said the decimal properly again, that would have been a hint to you. 12/100ths is how we would properly say this decimal, and it equals 12/100ths. My last step, again, is to see if I can simplify this. So what can I divide both 12 and 100 by? Well, I know that I can divide both of these by 4. But if you didn't know that, remember the rules that they're both even, so you can always start with 2 if you're not sure. Because I know 4 will work, I want to use the largest number that I can. And 12 divided by 4 is 3, and 100 divided by 4 is 25. I'm going to check if I can divide it any further. It doesn't look like I can, so I'm going to circle that. 12/100ths, simplified as a fraction, is the same as 3/25ths. All right, let's try another example. Here I have 1 and 4/10, or 1.4. So what I'm going to have is a mixed number in my answer, because you will notice I have one whole and part. So I can start by copying my one whole. Whatever's to the left of the decimal is going to be my whole number. This is going to be my fraction, because a decimal represents a part of a number. So I'm going to draw my fraction bar. I look for my number to the right of the decimal point, and that's a 4. I put a 1 in my denominator, and then I can count. There's only one place after the decimal, so there'd be only 1 0. I look back to see if I can simplify this fraction, and because 4 and 10 are both even numbers, I can. I'm going to divide both by 2, so that's going to leave me with a 1 and 4 divided by 2 is 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So 1 and 4/10 is the same as 1 and 2/5.